China's industrial automation efforts have brought hope to the struggling industry, but the potential problem is. At his family's small rice factory in Hunan, Zhou Di has invested more than 200,000 yuan over the past 3 years to arm it with automation, including machines for sorting and packing. All rice processing factories I know of have been automated, at least partially. Although my family is located in a rural farming village and with only 4 people, we're no exception, said Zhou, who harvests 100 acres of rice a year, yielding about 100 tons of the grain. My parents are close to 60 years old, and automation is what will keep our rice factory running instead of closing down in the future. The pace of replacing humans with robots in industries across China has been accelerating rapidly in the past couple of years, with observations on the ground suggesting that most industrial robotics and intelligent manufacturing integrated service companies had at least doubled their annual sales in 2021. With the large-scale market applications of automation, China has made breakthroughs across a range of technologies, including navigation and optoelectronics, said Luo Jun, chief executive of the International Robotics and Intelligent Equipment Industry Alliance, a government think tank focused on smart manufacturing. The price for each rice color sorting machine has fallen. That means more SMEs can afford to upgrade their production lines. Zhou Ying, Hunan Halian Grain and Oil Technology. In terms of combining artificial intelligence and industrial automation technology, China has been very close to the leading level, Luo said, adding that China, as the world's factory, stands to benefit more than other countries from a broader application of automation. Zhou Ying, who runs Hunan Halian Grain and Oil Technology, produces flexible polishing devices for rice processing. These devices used to come entirely from overseas. Many parts of rice color sorting machines used to need to be imported, but now they are 100% domestic made, and the price is getting cheaper because of growing enthusiasm to replace imported components with domestic parts, Zhou Ying said. The price for each rice color sorting machine has fallen from more than 50,000 yuan in 2018 to about 30,000 yuan now. That means more SMEs can afford to upgrade their production line. The pandemic-led manufacturing export boom, concerns over China's rapidly aging society, and a desire to save money have all resulted in more industrial workers being replaced with machines. What is China's dual circulation strategy, and why is it important? Trade tensions with Western countries have also given Chinese authorities further impetus to push for the use of more domestically made components during the process of upgrading automated production lines across the country. In 2015, China set a goal of making 260,000 industrial robots a year by 2025, but the goal was reached 4 years early, as 268,694 units were produced in the first 3 quarters of last year. According to a report from the International Federation of Robotics last month, China ranked 9th in robot density in 2020, as measured by the number of robot units per 10,000 employees, up from 25th 5 years earlier. Beijing recently unveiled a set of ambitious goals for 2021 to 25 to enhance automation in manufacturing. The goal is to achieve a minimum annual growth of 20% in robotic sales, while developing a group of industrial champions to double the robot density in the world's most populous country. The new 5-year plan cites an increasingly complicated global environment and increasingly intense competition. The plan lists supply and demand imbalances and supply chain stability as challenges to overcome. It also says China's robotics industry faces problems that include a lack of technology accumulation, a weak industrial foundation, and insufficient high-end supply. By 2025, China wants to build at least 500 smart manufacturing model factories to lead the development of smart manufacturing, and to cultivate at least 150 smart manufacturing solution providers. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, China's total year-on-year output of industrial robot production jumped 49% in the first 11 months of 2021. As a result, domestic capital is flooding into the market. In the first 11 months of 2021 alone, 316 robotics projects received more than 33.05 billion yuan in combined financing. These projects span several industries, including medicine, industrial, warehousing and service. China's factories must be armed with automation as virus gives robots a boost. Industry insiders and experts in Chinese production say that rapid developments in automation technology is helping alleviate China's labor shortage caused by aging. Luo said the rapid development of automation technologies is crucial for China, as they relieve pressure from a shrinking workforce while helping the country maintain its dominance as a global exporter. By 2050, China's industrial robotics density will reach 37 units for every 1,000 people, according to a state-funded study published by the monthly Finance and Trade Economic Journal in August. Such a robot dividend would be able to make up for more than half of China's labor shortage in 2050, the report said. It noted that a robot can replace about 60,000 to 83,000 hours of manual labor per year, and that could equate to about 100 million to 140 million labor hours a year by 2050. According to the report, China's working-age population in 2050 will be about 814.86 million people, accounting for 59.7% of China's total population, compared with 993.57 million and 71.2% in 2018. The popularity of the robotics market has also exceeded expectations in the past 2 years. In Dongguan, Guangdong Province, more than 3,000 companies invested in automated production lines between 2016 and 2020, according to the official website of Dongguan City. In 2020, a local food processing company invested 30 million yuan in automating one of its workshops that produces caramel treats, and by doing so was able to reduce the number of workers there by nearly 70%, the report said. According to the report, the company once hired as many as 9,000 employees during the peak production season, but that number was cut to less than 5,000 because of automation upgrade. Because of the impact of the pandemic lockdowns, the entire manufacturing industry has realized that production must be automated. Hu Haifeng, Roki Robotics. The entire robotics-enabled automation industry is very hot, said Hu Haifeng, sales manager at Beijing-based Roki Robotics. Because of the impact of the pandemic lockdowns, the entire manufacturing industry has realized that production must be automated. Companies that had adopted a wait-and-see attitude have started rushing to place orders. Hu pointed to his company to illustrate his point, noting that sales reached 130 million yuan in 2020. But last year's sales may have doubled that. We are looking to replace imported mid to high-end robots in electronics, automobiles and medical manufacturing, and even collaborative robots related to surgery, he said. So far, the shortage of imported chips has had little impact on us because we have seen great progress in domestic-made core components. Some components, such as speed reducers that regulate power transmission, are still dominated by Japanese brands, but Chinese brands have carved out a small market share, who said. China's 2022 job market threatened by aging population, COVID-19. Meanwhile, demographers have expressed concerns and offered critical assessments of the idea that automation efforts will solve China's aging population problem. Automation helps upgrade manufacturing and the supply chain, but it does little to help domestic consumption and the aging problem, said Huang Wenjing, a demographer who has written extensively on China's birth rate. In the long run, a shrinking population is more likely to lead to a relative shrinkage in GDP per capita, he said. Trapped in an aging society, all industries will become sunset industries, and China will gradually lose its advantage in the whole industrial chain. The willingness to invest has plummeted, innovation and entrepreneurial vitality have slowed, the pace of technology iteration has slowed, and a lot of infrastructure is at risk of getting old due to a lack of both demand and the financial resources to renew it.